Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into a report from Rithm Property Trust, and let me tell you, the drama in their shareholder meeting votes is more exciting than some reality TV shows. We're talking about directors barely getting enough votes and some pretty divided opinions on executive pay. It's like a corporate popularity contest with real money on the line. Before we jump in, if you're into getting the real scoop from these corporate filings, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, come hang out with us and other finance nerds on our Discord server. You'll find the link in the description below. So what is this Form 8K anyway? It's basically a company's way of saying, hey, something important happened and we need to tell you about it right now. In this case, it's all about what went down at Rithm Property Trust annual meeting on June 2, 2025. That's when all the shareholders got together and voted on important stuff. Alright, let's dive into the juicy details. This part of the filing tells us exactly what the shareholders voted on and how those votes turned out. Buckle up because it's more interesting than you might think. First up, the election of directors. Think of directors as the people who steer the ship. The shareholders got to vote on who they wanted on the board. We have Paul Friedman, Mary Haggerty, Daniel Hoffman, and Michael Lienberg. Now check out these numbers. Paul Friedman got 26,968,689 votes for him, but Mary Haggerty only got 15,500. Michael Lienberg. Now check out these numbers. Paul Friedman got 26,968,689 votes for him, but Mary Haggerty only got 15,058 and 689 votes for him, but Mary Haggerty only got 15,158,689 votes for him, but Mary Haggerty only got 15,900 and Lienberg. Now check out these numbers. Paul Friedman got 26,968,690, 68,609 on this issue. That accounts for over 7 million shares, which is a significant chunk. Next, the shareholders voted on whether to approve the company giving up to 7,700,000 shares of their common stock to RCM GA Manager LLC. RCM is the manager, and the manager is basically being paid with stock. This payment is for fees under something called the Management E4920 voted against. So the measure passed, but there was substantial opposition. This suggests some shareholders might not be thrilled with how the management is being compensated. Moving on, the shareholders had to ratify or approve the appointment of Ernst & Young LL as the company's independent registered public accounting firm for the year. Basically, Ernst & Young is in charge of auditing, checking the company's financial statements to make sure everything looks correct. 34,789,001 shares voted for it. Looks like most people are happy with Ernst & Young doing the books. Now here's where it gets spicy. The shareholders voted on the compensation or pay of the company's top executives. This is a non-binding advisory vote, which means the company doesn't have to listen to what the shareholders say, but it's a good way to gauge how they feel. Only 115,301,474 votes were for it, while 12,091,446 voted against. That's a pretty divided response, and it shows that a lot of shareholders aren't happy with how much the executives are getting paid. That's a significant number of shareholders disagreeing with the executive compensation plan. This level of dissent can signal deeper issues about how the company values its leadership versus shareholder interest. Lastly, the shareholders voted on how often they should get to vote on executive compensation in the future. They could choose every 1 year, every 2 years, or every 3 years. The majority, 27,604,268 shares, voted to have this vote every year. This shows that shareholders want to have a say in executive pay on a regular basis. And because the shareholders want to vote every year, the board of directors said they will do it annually. So what does all of this mean? Well, it looks like there's some disagreement among shareholders about the direction of the company, especially when it comes to paying the executives. Let's zoom out and see the bigger picture. Rithm Property Trust seems to be facing some internal disagreements, particularly when it comes to how the company is managed and how much the executives are paid. One of their strengths is their ability to get shareholders to agree on important issues, like who should be the auditor. But the pushback on executive compensation and the narrower margins in director elections are definitely weaknesses. It shows there's a lack of complete confidence in the company's leadership. These issues present some risks. If shareholders continue to be unhappy, it could lead to more significant problems down the road, like activist investors getting involved, or even a change in control of the company. It could also make it harder to attract and retain top talent if executives feel like their compensation is constantly under scrutiny. On the other hand, there's an opportunity here for Rithm Property Trust to listen to its shareholders and make some changes. By addressing these concerns, the company could build stronger relationships with its investors and create a more stable environment for growth. In conclusion, Rithm Property Trust's shareholder meeting reveals a company at a crossroads. There are disagreements, but there are also opportunities to learn and grow. The next year will be crucial for seeing how the company responds to these challenges. Alright, that's our breakdown of Rithm Property Trust's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.